I grew up in this area and I went to the Evangelical Free Church here, and they would do missions trips to Mexico for a week. And so I went with my mom and some friends, and I loved it.
What we can offer to that community so that those kids can be able to thrive and have a successful life and their parent. So that'll be my fight, and this is the way that I has been connected with COTP. Thank you.
I have had to fight back tears of joy, tears of knowing joy. There's so much work that's been done. You've been a voice for countless kids. Welcome to the One Pebble Podcast. Listeners, thank you so much for joining us today. It brings me great joy to be sitting down today and introducing an organization that has been near and dear to my heart for many, many years, Children of the Promise. Children of the Promise serves vulnerable children and families in Haiti. Today I have with me the National Executive Director. His name is Pascal. Later on, I'm going to have him tell you his last name, because it's a special and fancy last name. I have to say that, Pascal, when I read your bio, and by the way, to the listeners, the full bio will be in our show notes. Please read it. Your bio is incredibly impressive. You have education that's a mile long, and you have so much to be proud of. And you've won many awards in Haiti, Pascal, for who you are and the work that you do. As I talked to Jenna earlier about who you are, you've got a heart that just serves and serves and serves. And something I'm most proud of is you were born and raised in Haiti, left Haiti, and care so much about this country that you've chosen to go back. And you especially have a heart for disabled children and children with special needs. So we're super excited to hear more about your story and all that you're doing with Children of the Promise. Also, I have a 2008 Wilmer grad with us today. I am a old 1992 Wilmer grad, but it brings me so much joy to welcome Jenna Thorson, a person that is way younger, but I've truly and sincerely, personally and professionally admired her for as long as I've known her. Jenna, like Pascal, I got chills when I say this, the heart on this woman. I'm so proud of who you are and the work that you're doing. She comes with 12 years, I know, of international marketing experience, nonprofit marketing experience, for-profit marketing experience. Something I'm so proud of is she's led umpteen trips with groups and individuals to Haiti. She believes that going on a mission trip to Haiti, seeing the work of Children of the Promise, can really transform the purpose and hearts of people. And so grateful for all that you've led and all of your experiences in Haiti. I know you've made a tremendous difference. She's probably one of the best storytellers that I know. She's got a heart for storytelling, and there's so much more I could say personally and professionally as to how proud I am of Jenna and how proud I am of Pascal. So welcome. We're so excited. Thank you for being a part of the One Pebble Podcast. To you, the listeners, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to learn what is Children of the Promise. I only gave you a one-liner, but they're going to share so much more with you, who they are, what they do, how it got started. It got started in central Minnesota, and that makes me so proud. We're going to hear Pascal's story, an incredible story. We're going to hear Jenna's story. We're going to talk about Haiti. As we all know, there's challenges in Haiti, but the Lord is working in Haiti. There is tremendous hope for Haiti, and we're going to talk about the narrative of how we can get behind that great country. And lastly, we're going to talk about ways for you to consider praying for Children of the Promise and maybe even getting involved. So Jenna and Pascal, tell us, I told them one sentence again of an organization that is near and dear to my heart. Tell our listeners the long version, what is Children of the Promise? What do you do and how did you get started?
Yeah, sure. Well, it's, to tell that story, I think you have to go to the very beginning. Where did COTP come to be and who started it? You mentioned we serve vulnerable kids and family. Really, our main purpose is keeping and bringing kids into healthy families. And so that brokenness of kids being separated from their family is really how it got started in the first place. There's a couple here locally from a small town of Princeburg, central Minnesota, who had a heart for orphan kids. And Bud and Jan Bonema, they took a trip down to Haiti. And on that trip, on 3 different occasions, they got approached by a caregiver, a mom or a dad, and was asked, will you take my baby? And hearing that from somebody and seeing them holding a little baby is very moving. And they felt like the Lord telling them that this is something that they should be doing with their lives. And so they came back to central Minnesota and kind of rallied this community to support them. And they moved themselves down to Haiti and started caring for the orphan kids. And that was in 1999, so over 25 years ago. We have, as an organization, changed and developed over those years. What started as an orphanage has really grown into this multifaceted organization that serves a lot of different families and helping them keep their families together. And so, Pascal can share a little bit about what it looks like today. But, I'll just touch really on the early years. It was heavily, and I'd say primarily, funded by this community right here, and churches here and schools here, people who believed in this couple, Bud and Jan, who just did great work down in Haiti. And so they, doing international adoptions, caring for orphaned kids. And then it became into, after a while of doing that, you start to realize why parents are giving their kids up. It's not because of a lack of love. It's because of lack of resources, support, knowledge. And so, and as you know, Haiti has a lot of challenges. Poverty is immensely, it's everywhere there, especially in our area. And so they started saying, how can we meet families before they get to the point where they want or feel like they have to give their child up? And so that's really what has led us to a lot of the work that we do today, is that preventative work to keep the kids with their families. So Pascal, maybe you can talk about what we do today in our programs.
Yeah, so thank you for that invitation, and thank you to the community of Wilmer. So I'm really glad to be there today and to share the news and share a little bit about Children of the Promise. So as Jenna mentioned, so we have been doing orphan care at the beginning. We continue to do so, but right now we have 3 main programs. So we have an education program, we have a family-based care program, and we have a family strengthening program. So we continue to have the same objective, is to keep the family together and to work with orphanage care, the most vulnerable kids, and to strengthen their family. So in our family strengthening program, we're working with kids with malnutrition. We're working with kids with special needs. So we provide them support, can be food, can be therapy, and we're working with those parents also so they can be more aware and more educated so they can occupy and take care of their kids. Besides that, we continue to receive a lot of kids that have been abandoned, kids that have been in really bad situation. So we have that family-based care where those kids can receive, stay in our campus, so receive all the care that we can provide to them. In the meantime, we can work to reunify them with their parents, or we can look for national or international adoption. But we start doing also domestic foster care. So, and we have been working with the state government in Haiti, Child Protection Agency, so we can place some kids that have been abandoned in Haitian family. So we have a lot of success on that, and we kind of reference in Haiti on that domestic foster care program with the state government. So beside that, we have a school, and the school is like an inclusive school. So we have kids with special needs that can go to that school, and we provide a lot of support for those kids, therapy, special education head, all of those things. So now is what we are doing in that mission. So we continue to provide and support the most vulnerable kids, and our vision from now and beyond is to really focus on kids with special needs and their family. Because as the beginning, as what we have been seeing is that a lot of the kids that have been in our care has been kids with special needs. So the kids with special needs, they are the kids that has been more abandoned in the hospital in Haiti, because it's really expensive to take care of them. The family don't always have the resources to do so, and the knowledge to know exactly how to deal with it. So we have been doing that since the beginning, and we went to really invest in that in the future, so we can keep those kids and their family. And also, we went to develop a domestic foster care that is more specialized to take care of those kids. So this is what we are doing those days.
I'm so proud. And I have to say, Bud and Jan, wow, we're going to send this to them.
Yeah.
And I just can't thank Bud and Jan enough for their hearts to think of this organization, found this organization, and believe in it over 25 years ago. And I'll look at what you two and the rest of your team has done to grow it and sustain it, and just super grateful. I think of all of the lives and impact. You will not be able to measure your impact. Jenna, how did you find Children of the Promise? How did they find you? And share with us personally and professionally your story.
Wow. I feel like to really tell that story, I have to talk about before I even really knew about Haiti. I grew up in this area, and I went to the Evangelical Free Church here, and they would do missions trips to Mexico for a week. And so I went with my mom and some friends, and I loved it. I think there's something about experiencing a different culture, seeing how other people live, how they worship. I think it just opened my worldview to, man, there's people who don't live the way that I live. And so that started to shape me, I think, as a young adult. And then went off to college. I went to a college called North Park University in Chicago. And it, was very heavily too on mission work and helping internationally. And so I had the opportunity to go to Zambia, Africa twice. I went once just as a student and the other as a student leader. And same thing, we spent 3 weeks there, and it totally changed my perspective on culture and how other people live. And so I knew at that point that I just knew that I liked it. I liked the adventure of it. I liked the travel. I liked the learning. You go in knowing that you don't know anything. That's the one thing is I don't know anything about this culture, this country. So you're just very humble when you go into those experiences. And so graduating college, I didn't really know exactly where I was going to go, what I was going to do. But I knew that I loved short-term mission trips. So I thought, I think I'm going to go and I'm going to do something short-term. At that point was a year or two, live abroad and work at an organization. And so, of course, being 22 at the time, I was like, well, where is it cool to live? You're looking at Australia and Thailand and all these things you thought would be exotic and you're just young. So you think that's what you want. And I remember my mom telling me at one point as I was nannying in Chicago, and she said, you should talk to Jamie at Children of the Promise. They work in Haiti. And I had known of COTP. My parents went there very early on. Some of their best friends were like the first to adopt from COTP. So I knew of them, but that was about it. And so I said, sure, I'll talk to Jamie. I didn't really know much about Haiti besides probably the earthquake at that point. I had a friend in college who went down to help after that in 2010. So I talked to Jamie, and they had a need for somebody to work with volunteers. And it just felt like it fit what I was good at. I can hang out with people. I had led short-term trips. And then at the time I loved photography, and he's like, man, we don't have anybody doing anything for us, on social media and then the website and things like that. So I, at that point, was like, yeah, I'll take a trip down there and check it out. So my dad and I went together as like an exploratory trip just to see what it was like. And it wasn't great. I mean, I think I thought that it would feel the same as, in my mind, Africa did. And it was very different. I mean, Haiti is it's beautiful country, but it's, like you travel and you see poverty in some areas, on one street, or you go a little bit further and it's not. Haiti, it's really anywhere you look. You're not really escaping that visual of people struggling. And so I think that was very overwhelming. And I don't know why, but the Lord was like, this is where you're going to go. And I was just like, okay. So I came back and did all the fundraising, and I moved down there when I was 23. And to be honest, I was young. It was an adventure. It didn't feel like this moment of God telling me this is where you should go, but it felt like these are doors that are opening and I'm going to just go through them. So I lived there for almost 2 years and I would welcome teams and we would plan trips for them. And I really fell in love with curating these trips that would help them learn about Haiti in a positive way, but then open their eyes too to some of the struggles that Haiti has and just how different it is than our lives here. Because I think that's so powerful, because I saw it in my own life. And then I lived in Minneapolis for a while. I think at the time, after a couple years in Haiti, I was like, man, I want the normal. I think I was craving that normalness. And so I was like, I wasn't married and I wanted to get married. So I was like, I'll go to the States. And so I lived in Minneapolis for a while, and I was still working for COTP. And this is probably getting like way off the beaten path, but it is important because it's how the Lord has like led me to where I am, but also shows COTP I have grown up with COTP in a lot of ways. And it's been there with me through some really hard times in my life. Came back to the cities, and I just kind of dove into what you would expect a 25-year-old single girl to be doing in Minneapolis. And so I wasn't in like the healthiest spot personally. But still, again, was doing the good work, working for COTP, bringing people down to Haiti. So it's kind of this like dilemma internally for me of like, who am I? And through a few experiences, the Lord brought me back to this area of Wilmer. And I felt like for me, it was him removing me from a place of distraction and bringing me back to Wilmer, which I always said I wasn't going to do. When you graduate from a small town, you're usually like, I'm going to forget small towns. I'm going to live in a big city. So it's just kind of comical that the Lord brought me back here. But I think it was just him being very gracious and saying, this is where you need to be. You need to separate yourself. And so again, I worked for COTP, and I, at that point, had grown into more of the marketing director role, still working with volunteers. And I think that's where I just started to fall in love with the impact that these trips have on people. I mean, we just talked to somebody last week whose daughter went on a 1.5-week trip, and now she's spending 2 years in the Dominican working with an organization. So it's just, you don't know the impact of a trip until you take one. So that's kind of how that, when I was in my 20s, that's how it like came to be. But then I took a break. I went and worked for another company for about 4 years. During that time, I got married. I had a couple kids. And so when I joined again, Children of the Promise this past year, I'm a whole new person, right? Like now I'm a mom, now I'm a wife. I have 2 kids, almost 3 in December. The story of how COTP got started hit me differently than it did when I was 23. When I was 23, it was the adventure. It was the planning of experiences and trips. And now thinking of a mom coming up to me with a baby saying, will you take my baby? As a mom, that breaks your heart. I'm not going to look at you. Because it's actually a very selfless thing to do. If you know that you see somebody on the street who you don't know anything about them, but you know that they look like, maybe they're American, so they at least have more opportunities, more support. They can go pay for your school. To see that and say, my child will get more things because that person can give more than I can give. That's so selfless. But then it's also this mixed act of love too. And so for me coming back, it's become more of seeing the reasons why are people feeling the need to leave their child in a hospital? And not all of them do. Some have parents that have passed away. But for those who are abandoned, why is that? And how can we get to that mom earlier and say, hey, you just had a kid with special needs. It's okay. Here's a community of other parents who have a kid with special needs, and let us support you in caring for them. And we have a school that your kid can get education, and they are capable of having an education. And so that's kind of how I feel like the Lord has used COTP in my own life. Because, I've been with COTP now for over 10 years. My life has changed dramatically during that time. And so I have resonated with what we do as an organization in different ways throughout that time. So that's kind of where I'm at today. And I kind of also came back at a time where, since COVID, since Haiti has experienced a lot of political unrest, and our community of givers has changed a lot, where we used to bring, over 100 people down a year just on those experiences. And they come back here and they tell their church, they tell their friends, they tell their families, and the word of what we do spreads. We haven't had that now for 5 years. And so I was also very fascinated by, how do we get people to care? How do we get people to care if I can't show them with their own physical eyes what Haiti looks like, what it tastes like, what it smells like, what it feels like? If they can't look at someone's face of a parent in one of our programs, how do I get them to care? I haven't totally figured it out yet. But that was something that drew me back to coming back to COTP, is I care so much about what they're doing. And I feel like there's people here that there's some piece of what we do that stays with them personally, and it's going to be different for everybody. And I love hearing why people give or why people pray for us, because it's everybody they have a unique thing of what we do that resonates with them. So in a long-winded way, that's my story of how I got connected and stay connected to COTP. Yeah.
Jenna, you have a beautiful story, and I think of the courage when you went as in your early 20s. And now, like you say, as a mom expecting your third child, and how you evolved in your head and heart, and you were equally impactful from day one as to now. But you have grown up with this organization, and now you see it and feel it from the heart of a mother. Before we hear your story, Pascal, I just want to share real quickly. Jenna, you've had a profound impact on a couple of my closest friends, and I'm going to try not to cry. I was running with them at the crack of dawn this morning.
Yeah.
Children of the Promise has changed a few of my closest friends, and that's one of the reasons why this organization has been near and dear to my heart for so long. Jeff and Marnie Paffrath have loved Children of the Promise. I know that Marnie has taken probably several trips. Brooke and Kelly Baith have loved this organization, taken several trips there. But I want to tell a quick story that I've been able to witness the remarkable work as a friend of Brooke and Kelly Baith, witness the tremendous work of Children of the Promise. So Brooke and Kelly Baith were in an adoption process. They had been to Children of the Promise fallen in love with Haiti and the work of your organization. And when they started the adoption process, they did not know where their child might eventually come from. But what is so amazing about Christ, they found out that their child was going to come from Children of the Promise. And for Nika, who you know, Pascal, which just gives me goosebumps, it meant the world to Brooke and Kelly Baith that Nika started her first years at Children of the Promise. One of the biggest privileges of my life has been to walk this 5-year adoption journey with them. And for them, again, for Nika to have started her earlier years at Children of the Promise and be loved the way that she was, be treated the way that she was, and then to end up in her forever family, the Baiths, and to watch that transition be a beautiful transition. And we credit Children of the Promise for treating her in the most beautiful way in those earlier years. Now Nika is here in Kandiyohi County with Brooke and Kelly Baith, and it brings me tremendous joy, just joy beyond measure, to watch her thrive in that family, watch her thrive at school, watch her thrive in the community. And we couldn't be more excited about her life and her start at Children of the Promise. So as a dear friend of the base, I've been able to witness the power of Children of the Promise. Pascal, what do you remember of Chattanooga? And then we want to hear your story.
Well, I think I was listening to you, and it was really deep what you were saying. So Children of the Promise really care about the kids. So we have a family-based care where we have home setting. We create stability for the kids. So we have the kids have one parent that can be a couple of women and wife and husband. That can be one woman, but we really care that the kid will grow up in a family environment with one person that is really principal caregiver, because we know that sometimes there's a lot of trauma when a kid get abandoned. So we really care about the trauma. So we train our staff to be trauma-informed care so they know how to deal with it. And we also work about attachment, because sometimes it's really, in many orphanages, there is a lot of random person around the kids. So the kid is like, I've struggled with attachment. So we kind of guarantee that the way that we operate, the kid will be healthy mentally, socially, and spiritually, and physically. So the story of Chanika is the story of many kids that have been in our care, and we have a lot of kids that have been adopted in the state and in Europe and in many places. And it's always a pleasure for Jenna and I to listen to those stories. And it's always a pleasure also for our team on the ground when they heard about that kids that can come in really bad conditions. Sometimes the kid can get abandoned in the street. Some kids get abandoned in the hospital. Those other kids just they don't know where their parents are. So their story sometimes is really dramatic, but with an organization as Children of the Promise, we give hope to the kids. We give them an opportunity to be able to fulfill the word of God, to continue to live as God will wanted them to live. So it's really yes, this is what I can say about myself. I was born and raised in Haiti, so I'm Haitian 100%. And when I was little, my connection when I was little, so I had like a speech delay, and I also learning disability, learning difficulties, and I started to speak really late. I'm like 5 years old. I had a lot of issue with pronunciation, so I have to meet speech therapy once, and I had follow up with psychologists during all my primary school. So I was born in Haiti, as you know, is really a poor country, but I was blessed because I was born in a middle class family. So even if I was in a poor country, but my family is a middle class family. Both parents are educated, college graduated. So they understand my situation and they looking for help. Unfortunately, it's not the case for the majority of the population. Most of the population, they don't really have a high level of literacy or numeracy. They don't have money, so they don't really understand when a kid have special need or kid need other kind of follow up. So it's really hard. So after all those support that I received, so I've been able to go to regular high school and graduate. But when I was little, a lot of people in my environment, friends, family, and other people, when they were seeing the way that I was speaking or all the difficulty that I had, they thought that I would not finish college or high school. So they thought that I was I have some limitation probably, and cognitive limitation, if we can say so. So I had to work a lot harder and more than everybody else to prove that I'm capable of doing things. So when I graduated from high school, so I have the opportunity to leave Haiti. So I went first to study in Dominican Republic, and then I went to Spain. So I spent more than 9 years out of Haiti, first in Dominican Republic, then Spain. And I studied psychology. Why psychology? Is because I was psychologist. There was one psychologist that helped me a lot. So I got inspired about the support that I gave, and I wanted to give the support back. That's the reason that I chose to study psychology, and I specialize in educational psychology. So my dream was always how I can support kids that have learning disability or those difficulties that kids may have. So I had that heart for special need, and at the beginning when I had the possibility to go to college, that I focused on that. And when I was after 9 years between Dominican Republic and Spain, so I spent 4 years in Spain, 4 years and a half in Madrid. So and after 9 years out, so I had to decide what will be next in my life. If we are gonna stay in a more developed country, or if I'm gonna go back to Haiti. My family and friends, they didn't encourage me to go back to Haiti, because at that time Haiti wasn't as bad as now. We're talking now more than 13 years ago. So Haiti wasn't bad as it, but people have always experienced Haiti as a really hard country. So we always have difficulties. And psychology is not something that people in Haiti is really care about. Mental health wasn't a topic that people will think about. So my family didn't see another opportunity for me to go back to Haiti, because psychology, I can go everywhere else, but not Haiti. But my heart was about Haiti, because I think that I was calling from God to go back to Haiti and to be able to share all my knowledge to other person, and to help to change the narrative for those special need kids. And I've decided to return. I dedicate most of my life to support kids, to volunteers and a lot of organizations to raise awareness, to be an advocate for those kids in the media and the radio anytime I can. And I have worked with other organizations, but I stopped work with those organizations, and I start to build a center for those kids. I was working to have some money so I can invest that money and something that that was a purpose for me, something that I love, because I cannot find any job that was doing what I wanted to do. So I had to create something where I feel like I was doing what I wanted to do. I didn't want just to work and have money. I wanted to do something that has a meaning for me. something that has a purpose for me. And working with kids with special needs, that was my purpose. That was what I wanted to do. So so it was really a hard period of my life where I had to invest my money while I was working and spending on something that I love, but people don't really understand what I'm doing. They probably think I was crazy at that time. So but I have to fight for it, to support on family, etc. And sometimes I was looking for more stability because I was like trying to make that move forward, but it was kind of hard because it was a really a new thing in Haiti, talking about those things in the media. So people really take time before understand what I'm doing and support me on that. So while I was searching for more stability, so I saw a job offer in one of those sites that we have in Haiti. And I saw Children of the Promise. And when I read the description of Children of the Promise, and I read all the description, and I saw that they were working with kids with special need. I say, oh, finally I found one organization. Finally, there is one organization that are working with those kids. So I decided to apply, and that was for a program director position. So I have 7 years kind of working with Children of the Promise. So first, when I started, I was the program director. So that was really, I was really happy to join that team, and I was really happy to see that what they were doing, it was really different for other organizations that I've been working. So they really care about those kids. They give them the best care that we can offer in a country like Haiti. Even sometimes the care that they provide is the same that other places that I've been. So they really good care. We have good person, good specialists from the state that working with us, and I feel like that was warm, and I feel really great and good and happy to work in that team. And I have been working with them, but at that time I have to back from Port-au-Prince and Cap-Haïtien because I'm from Port-au-Prince. And I had that center at Port-au-Prince, so I was working to have some money so I can continue to pursue my dream with my center. And after 3 years and a half, it was really difficult to do the back from Port-au-Prince and Cap-Haïtien, so I have to stop. But I had a good connection with the past executive director, Jamie. So he said that, okay, we don't want you to leave. So how you can continue to be involved somehow? So I started to be involved as a consultant, program consultant. So continue to be involved, but it was not like a full-time position where I have to be staying on campus. I can do it remotely. It was like a more hybrid position. So sometimes I would go to campus, sometimes I can work from Port-au-Prince. So I've been doing that for a while. And then Jamie decided to resign from his position as an executive director, and that position was open. And the board was searching on more national executive director, someone that was more in Haiti at the same time can travel and working with Jenna. So the Jamie position was split in two, Jenna and I. So we are placing Jamie. And I decided to apply for that position because I feel like the mission and the value of the organization was meet with what I wanted to do. And I was really blessed to be able to work in that organization. And I had a lot of blessing in my life, and that was a way for me to bless other kids and to show them how to give hope to those families, to create more opportunity for those kids, and to be a voice for those kids and for those families. So to open the door for them. And we have been working a lot, so we can have, as been working a lot with Jamie, the past executive, so we can have an inclusive school. That was my fight. So my fight was how we can have a more inclusive school. So how we can make that those kids, more vulnerable kids, they can continue to go to school even if they have a special need, but they can have a space where they can spend the day, get educated, have food, train their parents, and provide therapy and all the kinds of services that they need. Because all of them, unfortunately, will not be able to travel to get an adoptive parent. So most of them will stay in the country. So what we can offer to that community so those kids can be able to thrive and have a successful life and their parent. So that'll be my fight, and this is the way that I has been connected with COTP. And my heart is for Haiti. Haiti is really hard those days, and I always have that fight with my wife because my wife, after my parent that didn't want me to go back, my wife wanted me to leave Haiti. But I always say to my father, I think that was God's choice for me to be in Haiti and to make a difference in Haiti, to make so I think I can be a model for many students, for many persons, so they believe that transformation is possible in Haiti. So be honest, doing things for the other, helping, so those things is possible in Haiti. So I'm like a model on that, and I think I'm really glad that I've been in COTP, that I'm staying in Haiti, because I guess I inspire a lot of people, because there's a lot of people that say, hey, Pascal, I'm doing that. I'm in the state right now. I'm in Canada and I'm studying special needs, or I'm doing that. It's because of you, because the way that the what you are telling me at the school or whatever. So I think I make a lot of influence. So there's a lot of people that really understand what I wanted to do, and so yeah, this is my story.
Pascal, what just amazes me about you, I said it, but I want to say it again, to have been raised in Haiti, to be educated in other parts of the world, have all the opportunity in the world. Again, to the listeners, read this gentleman's bio. It is so impressive. Read Jenna's bio. And for all the awards you've been given, for all the education that you have. And then, Pascal, I get choked up to move back to Haiti, to have a heart that screams for helping the children of Haiti, for having the voice that you have for the Nikas of the world. I can't thank you enough for your leadership, your character, your heart for the kingdom. You'll never be able to measure your impact. We're so grateful that you said yes to this position. Know that you're making a tremendous difference. And locally, I want to thank Jamie Gruen, his beautiful wife and family. They've done an amazing job and have so much to celebrate and to be proud of.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your heart. Do you have any idea how proud we are of you, Pascala, and you,
Thank
Jenna?
You. Thank you.
I have had to fight back tears of joy, tears of knowing joy. There's so much work that's been done. You've been a voice for countless kids and changed the lives of countless kids and family. But we know there's so much work to be done. We can't thank you enough for what you're doing at Children of the Promise. When we think of like the narrative of what's happening in Haiti now, sadly here in America and across the world, I know there's a ton of challenge, but I have to believe that the Lord is working, and there's a word that we'll never give up on, and that's hope. How do we change that narrative? How do we all work together to help this country? Jenna, there was something I know you were excited to share.
Well, before I share that, I wanted to just say too about Pascal's story that I think is so important to the narrative that you talked about. Is there's a narrative that we have here in the States of how, difficult and not safe and all those things about Haiti that are negative. But there's also that idea, a narrative, I think, of the States and Haiti of, well, you need to go to the United States to be successful. You need to get out of Haiti. You need to go and we just have to get out of here. And I think Pascal's is representing to his own country is actually, no, we should help ourselves. We should go back and help our community. And I think for the kids in our campus, in our child homes, like Nika, kids at our school, and honestly, even for a lot of our employees, I think seeing Pascal as somebody, and really, I would say all of our Haitian staff, those kids are inspired and saying oh, I could be like Pascal. We've asked that of kids. What do you want to be when you grow up? And they will say, the 3 basic things. And those are the people they see as successful: teachers, doctors, nurse. And so, I think it's so beautiful, but it also is I think it's this representation of international work in general. It's not us, and not Pascal can do it all by themselves. And of course, so Pascal, our relationship, I'm not Haitian. Okay. I can go down there and I can think I know all the cures. And often I do think I know that, which is a huge stumbling block of mine. But I think we have to realize that the longevity of the mission of COTP shouldn't rely on me, and it shouldn't rely on you. It should rely on people like Pascal who are living in Haiti, who see it every single day, who culturally, I speak some Creole, but by far, I don't pick up on everything. There's cultural things that I will never understand. And so it's so important for us as an organization to lean on Pascal and our team to say, this is what we're seeing in our community, because that's what should be driving us. And now, then I often feel like I get the fun job of saying, there's people here who care about it, and I'll tell you about it. And my philosophy has always been, if it's something you care about, you will want to join. And it's not everybody cares about it, and that's okay. You'll find something else maybe there is something else out there that you support and care about. But, I think that relationship that we have with our Haitian leaders is really important. It's really messy. It's not easy. And so maybe the easy way would be me going down and just doing everything, or somebody else like me, right? But I don't think that's what kingdom work is. I don't think God expects us. He expects this to be easy. I think he challenges us to try to understand each other, to try to understand how do we move forward together from totally different worldviews. And so I just wanted to share that about Pascal, is that him and just his presence speaks volume to our community. And that goes beyond just, what we do at COTP. That's a community Haiti thing of keeping these qualified, intelligent people in Haiti to serve their own communities. And so, I think the narrative of Haiti has been a struggle for us as an organization. We, since COVID, and then there's been a lot of political unrest in Haiti. We haven't had groups go down in 5 some years. So it's not just us as an organization. A lot of organizations in Haiti have been struggling because they have found that donors have moved on. They haven't been connected as much. So we try to really focus on the hope of tomorrow and what that looks like. A couple months ago, about a month and a half, maybe 2 now, we got news that a foundation that Pascal really was close with and initiated this conversation with has selected us to be a recipient of a new school that they build. So we have always dreamed about building
Jenna,
a new
I've got to
school.
stop you real quick. When I get excited on the One Pebble podcast, I do.
What do you do?
Thank you, Lord. Okay, start over. Say that again.
We're super pumped. We're pumped. Sorry, I touched the mic. Got too pumped there. But yeah, so
you gave me chills.
Well, I should let you, because it was really you who initiated this, but why don't you share a little bit about Digicel and what they are doing for us?
Yeah, Fondation Digicel is we have a company in Haiti, a fund company like Verizon or AT&T, that kind of stuff. So the name of the company Digicel, and they have a foundation, and so they build schools. So we write a grant, we talk with them, and they were really amazed about what we are doing, because what we are doing, as I mentioned earlier, is really unique because we have an inclusive school. So they visit us many times, and they choose to sponsor us this year. They will cover 90% of the expense on the building, all the expense that we have to do on the building. We only have to give 10% of the amount. So it's really a bless. that we had that opportunity. And it's like we wanted to build a school many years ago, not just that to this year. That has a dream for COTP, Jamie, and all the leadership for many years, but we never had enough money. We it wasn't never the right time. This year, it wasn't the right time either.
God does have a sense of humor.
Right?
Yeah, sure,
It's like, you guys just started. Here, we'll give you this project.
But Jenna and I, when we start talking about that, we see that we have to make that the good time. Sometimes you just have to make something the good time. So we decided to push through with that and to move forward with that. And our hope is that will be hoping a lot of opportunity for those kids, for the community of Lagos where we are, and for COTP also as an organization to be able to grow. Because right now, the school that we have, they occupy a lot of space in our campus. So with that new building, so we have a lot of space free. And we'll be able to do more collaboration with other organizations. And right now, with the situation in Haiti, there is a lot of organizations. They have to move from where they are to come to a more secure place. And God has been blessing us a lot because where we are is really safe so far. And that opened door that other organizations, if they want to go and join us, they can come. And with that new building, that will free space to make that possible for new partnership with other organizations that is doing the word of God. And that can add value in what we are doing also.
Mm-hmm. I think, you said like it maybe wasn't the best year. And just a little bit behind that is because of kind of the situation we walked into, COTP has, like a lot of other organizations in Haiti, experiencing a lack of funding. And so we had to actually cut 3 classes from our school, which it took a lot of years to get those up and going. So I feel like we have had to make some really tough decisions that have made a big impact in the community. That school was a lot of hope and opportunity for that age of kids, very vulnerable age of kids, teenagers, preteens. And so the ability to have a gift of this school is bringing us a lot of hope. And the Lord has used it to open the vision of what we see COTP looking like in the future, who we see, and both of us believe very heavily in collaboration. And so we're part of a collaborative group of organizations in Northern Haiti that meet every month. We talk about just really anything that somebody is going through, get advice from people, and just share resources. And it's been fantastic. So we would love to do more of that as an organization because we just know we're stronger together than anything we can do by ourselves. And so, even that's how I feel about this partnership between COTP and what we're doing in Haiti and then our supporters here. It's all about trust. And there is this level of trust that people here have to have with the organization. If they're giving their time, their resources, their prayers, they want to trust that this is doing good and all of that. And so it's this beautiful representation of what God can do with when 2 people trust each other. So we're very excited about this school. They've started already. And so we're kind of doing a campaign for that. And then, like I said, just in general, we're just doing everything we can to tell people about COTP because we want people to join us. We want to keep investing in programs that focus specifically right now for us, kids with special needs, because those are the kids that we are seeing that are abandoned, who are left more often than not. Mm-hmm. And again, not because parents don't love them, it's because they lack resources. And so, our main goal is just keep these kids with their families and support them. When that's not possible, we love adoption. We love domestic foster care. We have shifted our model to always do that better, like our foster care homes. We love our adoptive families. Probably some of the most selfless people I've ever met. Any adoptive parents that I talk to, it's not easy. It's not easy to adopt a child. And the stories that they share, you realize the value and the importance of those first few years that they spend perhaps on our campus with our staff, that make a big difference in their lives 20 years from now. And so that just speaks volume to our staff in Haiti and our house parents who give everything to those kids. I mean, they love them like they're their own. So yeah, it's really some fun work.
Let's talk a little bit about trust. Mm-hmm. You've been an organization for over 25 years.
Yeah.
You've built incredible trust with your partners. You have unwavering character. I'll say that again, because I know it with every bone in my body. Children of the Promise has unwavering character. They're doing everything to make a difference for Christ and his kingdom. How can our listeners consider praying? Give us some prayer requests. How can they consider financially getting behind you? Maybe helping with the school, maybe helping with something else. But tell us, how can we pray and consider giving and partnering with the exceptional work that you're doing?
First of all, before safety. So
pray for safety.
Pray for safety. I think is something that we really need. So
safety.
Safety. And then because we live in a country where at any time something can happen. We don't have any. You cannot plan anything in it right now. So you cannot have a plan to know exactly what gonna be tomorrow, next 2 days, because there is a lot of instability. And we have been blessed so far. Nothing has ever happened to us, to our campus. We are really safe. But I think continue to pray for safety is really will be a good prayer. And pray for Haiti in general, so we can have more better leadership in Haiti in general. People that really have their God in their heart, people that really believe in the country, and people that really want to help the country. So I can praying for safety and good leadership, so Haiti can thrive and move forward. I think that can be a good prayer to do.
Yeah. And pray for our staff in Haiti. They give a lot of themselves to the work every single day. They sacrifice a lot so that they can come to our campus and work. So pray for encouragement and just safety and health over their families. And then of course, like the school just started classes October 3rd or 1st, so a couple weeks ago. So pray for all the kids that are starting school, and of course our kids that live in our foster care homes. A lot of prayers just for the people we serve, for the people of Haiti. I think, if people are looking to give financially, of course there's always a need. The school building and the renovation of our campus is something we're just starting to talk about now. So that's definitely something that people can, if they feel led, give to. We have this really cool program for schools to be part of what our school in Haiti. It's called School Partnerships. So if you're part of a school, what we do is create global friendships. So we have video exchanges and like curriculum that's around Haiti. It's a really cool relationship building activity for schools here to get involved with our school there. And then really, I would say, along with a project, just giving once a month, or we have a monthly giving program, and that just helps with the day-to-day operations. And I would say that's very, very important, as we have a big campus. We have a lot of kids, over 200 kids at the school. We have 15 kids living in our on-campus homes, many, like 30 kids in our nutrition program. So there's a lot going on our campus that people can be part of every day by giving monthly. So we have a website and Facebook and all those things that people can always go to if they're interested in learning more. But we, you mentioned too, we have people who have been giving to us for 25 years and have heard about us. And we're just so grateful for those people because they have sustained the mission for that long. And I feel like that's just a testament to this community, right? Like we're a small town, but they're so generous. And I feel like Children of the Promise has been on that receiving end. And so I think for us just to say thank you for being part of this community, and for other people who've been praying for us, praying and giving, coming to Haiti, adopting from Haiti. I mean, we have just been so blessed by this community. So it's been great.
I love how grateful you both are. Such grateful people. I have 2 more questions. Yes, there's challenges, tremendous challenges in Haiti, but there is a ton of good. What you guys are doing is remarkable. You are changing lives forever. Again, we could not be more proud. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts on behalf of myself and all of the listeners and just the rest of the world for the lives that you're changing. We are so grateful. Pascal, leadership can be lonely. Jenna, leadership can be lonely. We're going to pray for you and continue to encourage you. So I've said it before, but you'll never be able to measure your ripples in the work that you're doing, the voice that you're having. We're so incredibly grateful. So with the challenges in Haiti, those are real, but there's tremendous hope. As I said, amazing things happening, Children of the Promise being one example. And the Lord is working there. And so I think it's important, I'll speak for the rest of the world, that we help to change the narrative. We get behind with prayers, and we help to believe in a country that there's hope. We have a huge God, and there is so much incredible work being done already. Anything you want to say about us helping to change the narrative?
Well, I want to say thank you. Thank you to our donors. Thank you to the church, individual, company, because we have received a lot of support during all those here. And that mission will not be possible without you receiving us today and all those persons that have been given to us. So this mission, the work that we are doing in Haiti, all the result that we have been having is because of people like you and the donors. So first of all, those people, they are involved in that changing of narrative. They contribute to change the narrative that we are talking about.
Sure.
Because by supporting us, we are able to do transformation through education, transformation by supporting those family and our family strengthening program. So the reason that the school and all those things is important, if you want society to progress, you have to invest in education. Education is really a key that opens door for opportunity, either in Haiti, either elsewhere. So I think changing the narrative is create better citizenship, better Haitian that really love their country, Haitian that have faith in God, and Haitian like me that want to invest more in their country beyond money, just because they really love the country. They Haitian that believe that we can make a difference, we can live better in that country. Changing the narrative is also with like the collaboration that Jenna and I is having, as she mentioned. So COTP has been with Jamie. Something great that Jamie has been doing for COTP is Jamie has created a national leadership, Haitian leadership. There's a lot of organizations in Haiti. They are mostly run by foreign people only. But there is something really special in what Jamie has been doing. Is like Jamie has put a lot of Haitian in leadership position. And back under the day, we didn't have all those Haitian, those leadership positions. And this is something that have an impact on the kid that is growing up, because they start seeing people that look like them in leadership position in a American organization. So that can change the narrative. So beside to go to a gang, beside to do other things. So they can be successful in Haiti through education, through hard work, etc. So I think all those things, everything that we are doing as an organization is contribute to that change the narrative of the people, like Lago said, the people in our community. And that can be that can serve as a model for other organizations to see the way that they're helping Haiti, how they can improve and empower Haitian people so they can start to be leader also in those organizations, and how they can really work with the heart and work with Haitians so they love what they are doing beyond the money that they are receiving. So I think all those things has been contributing a lot to changing the narrative. And I see a lot of hope in Haiti because we have the hope here. Children of Progress is bringing that hope for many kids, for the community. People start to believe that change is possible. Haitian can run something really well. There is good collaboration between Haitian and American. So all those things, I think, are making a huge difference. And we just have to continue to make those partnerships and those work.
Yeah. I think just, I think finding the good in things, I think that's a huge thing of changing the narrative. I think often we say narrative, that's a lot of it could be online. A lot of people spend time online. It's the news stories you're reading. It's the pictures you're seeing of Haiti that are gang related and violent. I mean, it could be as simple as, hey, follow an organization like Children of the Promise or another organization working in Haiti. So you're getting those positive stories of, hey, here's, a little girl that came to us and is now reunited with her family again. You have to go individually. You have to see people as one and not of the mass. Mm-hmm. And I think when you take the time to maybe not see Haiti as its whole, but just find an organization or a person that you feel like is giving hope, and that's what you should be focused on, because that's what's really happening. And we hear stories all the time of other organizations working in northern Haiti too. I mean, everyone is just doing such great work. And so those are the stories that we choose to focus on. And we just hope other people choose to focus on those too.
Jenna, I love that. Even just changing one life. I want to come and go on a tour. I want to see. For you. I want to see where Nika came from. One of my God willing life goals is to come and see where Nika came from. I want to, get behind the leadership and just your staff. I love to encourage them. I think I'm crazy. I am crazy.
They would love you.
And I encourage the listeners, when the time is right, to come see the work. Yeah. Come see it in person. And like you said, Jenna, I love what you said. Focus on one body. Focus on changing one person's life. And so to go to the website and to possibly go on a trip someday, for sure pray and maybe possibly give. But you're doing incredible, life-changing, impactful work. We could not be more proud of both of you. It's been such a blessing to hear your hearts and have you in here to share. What an honor for myself and the listeners. On the One Pebble podcast, we give the guests the opportunity to throw out the last pebble. So no pressure, but is there any final thing that's on your heart or thing you want to reinforce, Jenna, or say to the listeners and Pascal before we sign off today? But what a blessing you both have been. I'm grateful.
Thank you. I think I'd say it's so easy to get caught up in our own life and what we have going on today, picking up our kids from school, getting to work on time, giving that presentation at in our university college class or something. We're all so busy. And I think if we all just take a moment every day to lift our heads up and look around us and look for somebody that's maybe different from us and learn about them, I think there's just so much value in stepping out of our comfort zone, going somewhere, but not everybody can go to Haiti or go on these trips. But there's always a need right in front of you. So I guess what I would say is just take a moment every day to not think about yourself and think about somebody else. And I think that you find a lot of blessing in that. So.
I would say one kid, one family, one promise, and one donors can make a difference.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's hard for me to say goodbye to you too. As I get teary-eyed. God's richest blessings to children of the promise and to both of you. Thank you for sharing today. What a blessing this has been. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having us.
This has been the One Pebble Podcast. One pebble, so many ripples. What will you do to make a difference?